Meeting order. If you'll join me in prayer and pledge. Dear Heavenly Father, please watch over the board and the first responders. Help us to guide our decisions tonight to make the right decisions for the city and for ourselves. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to take roll. Patrick?
Present.
Pete?
I'm here.
Mike?
Here.
Timmy? Here. Angie?
Here.
And Mr. Parker is out this evening. All right. Let's see, announcement, proclamations, and presentations. Ms. Courtney has some this evening. Courtney, if you could either talk loud or make sure that everybody can hear you.
No, everybody can hear you. Everybody can hear you.
Alrighty, so I would like to recognize the city employees who have been with the city for anywhere from 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 years. This is something that the city, in my knowledge, has never done, so I would like to start this. So if you hear your name called, if you'll come forward, we have a certificate for you, and we also have a little cookie that Dulce made that has like the city's logo on it. I think those are super cute. All right, so the first one we have is Cody Carroll. Second one we have is Jesse Peterson. These are all 5 years, by the way. And then Denise Socher. Mike Dunlop. Janine Knight.
Y'all stay up there.
Stay up here. And that should be all 5 years, right?
Yes.
All right, so now the 10 years we have is Chase Hendry and Jeremy, how do you pronounce his last name? Bonart? You.
Oh, Bammer?
Bamert.
Bamert.
Yeah, Jeremy Bannert.
Bammer.
Bannert. So 15 years we have is Miss Susan and Douglas Walker. Then our 20 years we have are Debbie Cordy and Donna Stevenson. And our 25 year we have is Shannon Bennett. And if I can get y'all's picture.
Scoot in a little bit. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sure you don't want to go?
Yeah. Thank you all.
Now we never go do that.
Let's get these leftover cookies.
So I wanted to just thank that group of people for your dedication to the city. That does say a lot about the city itself and the employees. So for that, I do thank each and every one of y'all. Okay, do I have any amendments to the docket? Hearing none, moving on. Approved minutes, Board of Aldermen, July 18th, regular and executive session.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. July 25th, work session.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. July 27th, 2023, Planning and Development Commission.
Motion.
I have a motion. I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of docket of claims number 080123. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Under unfinished business, engineer selection for CE and I, Klondike and Commission Project, Pickering Firm. Patrick, I believe you had this tabled last time. Do we have any more information?
Do we need a motion to get into it, or just
Second.
second?
Okay, I have a motion and a second. I apologize.
Sorry, discussion. Yeah, so, I kind of looked into it. So with these types of projects, they're basically not based on pricing. These projects can only be based on qualifications. Under the federal and state procurement laws, I think the limit is at 75,000, I believe. So anything under that threshold, there's a preferred list with the state and these companies that are on it. So all we can do is look at basically their qualifications. And then I guess the state agency and
Once we pick an agent, a firm, then we go into negotiations with them regarding the price. At that point in time, if we can't come to an agreement between the company and the city, then I believe we go back out for bidding, correct?
correct.
Or pick the next one.
Or pick the next qualified person. To add to Patrick's stuff, we did set a engineering committee a while back. It consisted at the time of the mayor, myself, Patrick, and Mr. Bernie. The fact that the mayor's out at this point in time, I'd like to see, and
I think Joe was on it also. right?
Joe, yeah, I'm sorry, I was speaking directly about the board members. But I'd like to see us using that, number one, and then I'd like to see if I could get another alderman to step up to fill in that extra spot. So I don't necessarily need that tonight, but, if we do have them, whoever's ward that would be, I think that would probably be the best option, and then we just kind of go from there. Okay, do we have any other?
I will say, in regards to just this specific, I mean, I feel like we're so far away from the actual project starting. I mean, we still have a long road ahead of us in acquiring the land. So I would be my motion that we would just hold off until we get a little bit farther in this process. We still have a long road ahead before I think we need any kind of selection. So that would be my motion.
Okay, so
Are we,
Patrick,
are we required now by MDOT to go ahead and pick a firm?
you know offhand?
I was requested to go ahead and get the firm selected so we could keep moving forward with the project. I don't know if it's required. I can check.
But MDOT did request that we move forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to make a substitute motion that we approve this tonight.
I'll second that.
I have a motion, I have a substitute motion to approve the selection of the Pickering firm. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. All right, moving on, property tax exemption, Rivoli Properties, LB 112 LLC. I had spoke to the representative. He could not make it this evening, but he asked if, whether we table this one, we take it off. He's going to request to be at the next board meeting, which is the third Tuesday of this month, the 15th.
I'll make a motion to table.
Okay,
I'd like to discussion,
all right.
second
Well,
discussion.
you got a second end of discussion, all right.
So, under this ordinance, which is ordinance number 639, they do qualify as far as the money, the amount in Zone C1. However, it does state that an application for exemption under this section must be made within 12 months from the date of completion.
Correct.
So I don't know at this time why we are still discussing this until we see
Well, but,
things done.
so, which I understand.
I'm not gonna give as good a speech as Pete did last week, but
But understand, but here's
Okay, I
what
have
we run
another
into. With what you're saying there, and that's why I said we could take it off, we can do it, but anybody has the right to be on the agenda. You know.
Amen.
So it's a catch-22, understanding that, if that's your feeling and we want to move to take it off, that's fine, and he can make a new application if he would like to speak.
I would like to say that I would like him to come. I spoke with him and just answer Pete's questions and allow us to understand exactly going forward what he's going to do. He's offered to do that, and I think that it would allow us time to digest and all his conversation. I think it'd be a welcomed thing for us to do. He needs to come and speak. I don't think
Okay.
any motions
No, I'm
or any
good with that.
actions need to be
I just
taken.
wanted-
I just think
Yeah,
he needs
no,
to
no,
come
no,
speak.
I understand what you're
want
saying.
the public to understand that they do qualify, you
Right,
know.
that's-
Just
yeah.
because they qualify does not mean this board has to approve it, though.
Correct.
And I'll,
That's why I want to table it and let him come speak and.
I'd like to add one more little bit of discussion, with regards to Angie's comment. I would also like to see him come to the microphone rather than use somebody else as his mouthpiece, number one. And, I'm not gonna give a diatribe like I did 2 weeks ago, but I'm just gonna remind everyone, once again, we had a revised budget, and, I'll use the analogy, it would be like somebody who can't make their house note going to buy their freshman a new car to go to high school. But we can take it off, we can table it, whatever the board's pleasure is.
Okay.
Okay,
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
that's to table it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, under new business, memorandum of understanding, MDA, the portable equipment. If I could get a motion.
Motion?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Memorandum of understanding, MDA, infrastructure improvements. Motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on to 3, Long Beach School District budget FY.
He needs to recuse himself.
Mr. Bennett, please note that Mr. Bennett has recused himself. Long Beach School District budget FY 2023-2024.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I will just add that this is something that the board has to do as a formality every year. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Pete, can you grab him, please? Thank you, sir. Well. Okay, moving on, request for master service selection, MDOT, for the CSX Railroad crossing improvements.
Motion on that.
Okay, I have a motion to approve, and this is selecting,
We have to ask permission to use this process first, and
Okay.
then we'll be able to make a selection off the master list.
okay,
This is
gotcha.
the first step.
Okay, so, just as a formality, this is MDOT improving upgrading all of our railroad crossings to make it, passable for, trucks. At this point in time, I believe the only one we have that is passable by load trucks is, Jeff Davis Avenue. So I know that the police department will be happy to see this done. So save them, 4 calls a week? There you go. So, do I have a motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Special event application and fee waiver request for First Baptist Church.
Motion,
Back to
second.
school. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Right-of-way purchase for Klondike Commission Road from Mississippi Power Company.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any
Donald,
di-
what corner is this?
This is, if I'm correct, this is the,
Not the corner.
It's right next to the the seafood market.
oh, it's
Next to the
That
seafood?
entrance.
down by Suddett's.
Where you
I thought
turn
it was
in
the
to go
box.
to the power station.
Okay.
So
Right
that's
there
where
in front-
that,
In front of the power station?
Yes.
yeah,
you
that's where
turn in to
the,
go
I
to.
guess the, what do you call it, the holding lane or the turning lane will start.
Okay.
Okay. And I believe, is this the second or third one?
Third.
Third, okay, so we are making some good progress here. All right, any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 7, mobile vending ordinance, Alderman Brown.
So,
Second.
motion.
Okay, we're a little premature there,
All
but
right.
go ahead, sir.
Here we go. We've been working on this for quite a while, and actually, I just want to kind of send this to our legal and let our council go over it. There is a couple changes I see, and I'll get with you right after this, but we still will have I guess, a hearing. I don't know if we have a public hearing. I
Yes.
think we have a public
You'll
hearing
have a public.
anytime. But I know, according to Stacy and maybe even Courtney, this Christmas on the Avenue is already starting to pull their permits for Christmas on the Avenue. So, and I know this might put a damper on Mike, but I'd like to see this go into effect like in January 1, because we're going to have people pulling their permits, and they send out, correct me if I'm wrong, you send out permit renewals August 15th, somewhere around there. At the end of the month. At the end of the month. If we do this next board meeting, we still have a 30-day waiting period. So we're not going to make that deadline.
We still have to advertise and all that, so
So-
I don't think there's any
And
way.
I would like for the public to see it also, because we have definitely changed our vending ordinance up to accommodate. It's a fine line between all of our businesses here and then somebody's coming in here wanting to sell something out of a truck or a trailer. And I think all in all, Angie and everybody else has done a good job. So I'd just like to, I guess I need a motion, or I'll make a motion that we send it to our legal
I'll second that motion.
for review.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on, number 8, streetscape signage lettering, Christian Prius, landscape architect. Is Christian here?
No, he's not. He provided this letter.
Okay, so, did everybody have a chance to review?
I'd like to make a motion, we take it under advisement until we can talk with him.
Right.
Okay, so I have a motion to table. I have a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, just briefly, Donald, everybody's got this letter here, and it looks like there's a lot of hoops to jump through with regards to changing that. Just personally, I don't think destroying something we just put up is a
About
prudent
taping
thing.
it off and painting it.
But what I wanted to say is there's one in Gulfport, right there at the Long Beach Gulfport line, and it appears that at one point it may have been similar, and there's some patina on it, which naturally darkened it. So I don't know if that's something we could look forward to or not. But anyway, just a point of observation, that's all.
All right. All right. I had a motion and a second to
it.
table. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 9, in the zone child care service plan, Mr. Vincent Burke. Mr. Burke, if you'll just give us your name and your address, just for the record, and then you're good to go.
All right, my name is Vincent Burke. I'm the Director of Operations for In the Zone Child Care Services, also the owner. Our address is 3614 Bienville Boulevard, Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and we have another site at 7312 South Tucker Road, Ocean Springs as well, St. Martin area. Good?
Thank you.
All right. Okay, before I get started, I brought some diagrams of some proposed ideas that we have. We're certainly going to be willing to coordinate with the city, but I brought some that would be with a proposed addition, special use permit for an additional C2 of 1.2 acres to the property, and then what it would look like if we didn't get the additional. So we're just going to lack a lot of landscaping, islands, stuff like that in the front parking lot. And so aesthetically, it's definitely not going to be as pleasing if we don't get the 1.2 for the special use. But let me go through it, and then I'm definitely open if you have questions, anybody wants to ask or call me anytime, and I've left my email address and my phone number with you guys. As I said, my name is Vincent Burke, Director of Operations and owner for In the Zone Child Care Services. Yesterday, we completed the purchase of approximately 5 acres of property on Klondike from the Karuba family. I'm here to inform the community of our intention to establish In the Zone Child Care Services facility here in Long Beach. We're very excited to share our vision and explain the benefits of what In the Zone can do for your community. We currently operate the 2 largest child care, privately owned child care facilities in the state, with one in Ocean Springs and the other one in the community of St. Martin. We serve currently about 330 children at each one of those facilities, ranging from 6 weeks all the way to their 13th birthday. Long Beach is experiencing significant growth, with over 300 new homes being built alone this year. As a result of that, there's a pressing need for quality child care within our city. In the Zone will assist in meeting that demand by providing access to quality child care within the city of Long Beach. By bringing our child care services to Long Beach, we aim to contribute to the city's economic development. Rather than having parents seek child care options in neighboring cities, our presence will retain spending and resources within the city of Long Beach, strengthening the local economy. We'll be adding 17 full-time jobs and 14 part-time jobs to the city. We're going to be investing between $2.5 and $3.0 million in construction of this project at the Long Beach location, which in turn will bring much higher property tax revenue to the city for that property. We are committed to addressing the traffic impact and zoning concerns that have been raised already by proactively cooperating with the city in order to have the city be pleased, as well as the citizens around the property itself. We're currently collaborating with the property owner to the south for additional access to Todd Terrace Road, which will in turn enhance traffic flow and management to the area. We're requesting a special use permit here in the near future to extend the C2 zoning for an additional 1.2 acres, and this will create a more functional and visually appealing facility to the community. We're very excited about becoming part of the Long Beach community. We will work hard to cater the growing needs of families while boosting the local economy and creating new jobs and offering quality child care experiences for family. We want to put our best foot forward and create a welcoming and beautiful facility for all. Thank you guys for your time and your consideration.
Thank you, Vincent. Does anybody have questions?
I do.
Mikey?
So you're going to have to go back through the Planning Commission for special use exemption, correct?
Yes, sir. To be specific to child care alone.
Okay. And I was in contact, I've made contact with the police and fire chief today. On your exit here, I don't think, and this is my personal opinion, I don't think Todd Terrace is our savior for the road.
Okay.
I mean, the exit.
So that wouldn't be a concern of this board?
If we could move, and this is my opinion only, on your exit here, if you could move that, I guess, back to the north some to make that intersection a four-way traffic intersection. I've talked to the police chief with his blessing on it so far. I mean, this is down the road, but it's just something that if it does get approved, or if you're moving forward with it, something that we would definitely, I'd rather look at it that way, because and I know there's some people here that lives in that area. Trying to get out of Todd Terrace on busy days is a nightmare already.
I heard, so they have like the
Exactly.
Public Works down the street already.
Right, so,
County.
and you're not far from that intersection if you moved a little to the north to make a four-way stop.
Well, personally, not professionally, but personally, it doesn't bother me at all if we don't actually purchase that Temple Terrace, that 30, the Todd Terrace property, the 30 feet, because for us, it creates natural barrier for us to the neighbors. So you have neighbors south in the neighborhood that pretty much don't want to look at commercial property. So you'll have 30 feet of woods there that would be in between us. So that won't bother us at all. In Ocean Springs, we have one entrance and one exit to Highway 90, and it'd be much better if we could have an exit, an entrance, and a full exit, but we can do that as far north as the property will allow.
Okay. That's all Chief, the fire chief, police chief? Yeah, I like it. I mean, that's.
So, yeah, I think
I
that,
think that's later down the road discussing that, but I agree. I think that definitely needs to happen.
so I do want to say this, because Vincent reached out to me, and I did meet with him. He was more concerned about getting off on the wrong foot with the community. When he made the application, he did tell me that it was your architect or your designer.
I hired the same design firm that's done our previous two buildings, and they came in and said, this will be no problem, we're just going to rezone the entire property. We don't need the entire property. We can leave most of the back, we can leave that all R1. We just need an additional 1.2 to really just to make the property look so much better for the community. And you'll be able to see that by just looking at the floor plans from above as far as what we can add to the facility.
Yeah, and so that's really why he asked if he could come speak to us, knowing that he does have to go back through the planning commission with the application and go from there, so.
Okay.
All right.
Sir, I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
All right. Moving on, departmental business, mayor's office. Just a heads up, Mike did grab me on the way in this evening, Mike Gunlock from our building department. He said that he's investigating, there may be some issues with some zoning on our map that is not correct. So he's going to investigate it. But Mike, what I'd like to do, since we talked, I'm bringing it up to the board so that they know, if you will include whatever alderman in that ward, whatever ward that property is in, if you'll include them in the discussions, and I know you're going to be getting with Joe, and then we're going to have to speak with our legal counsel on that. So just a heads up on that. I don't think I have anything else. That was just a quick one. I wanted you guys to know you may be getting a phone call. All right, moving on to personnel. Police department, we have 4 step increases. We have fire department, we have 1 step increase, 2 promotion, 2 resignation, and 1 retirement. The library board, we have 1 step increase. If I could get a motion.
Motion, we lump them together.
All right, I have a motion to.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, number D, adopt new civil service scale. I will tell you before we get a motion that this is correcting the scale with the pay for the police department.
Only.
So if I can get a motion.
Motion.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. City clerk, schedule work section, schedule work session for FY '24 budget. We've had 2. I will tell everybody here and watching, budget's very tight, and it's currently in the negative. So, this will be our third budget, meeting, that we have some important decisions to make. And I encourage anybody and everybody to come and listen, so.
Tuesday?
Unless anybody has a conflict with
day.
that being
Well, we should
election
be through
day.
by 6 o'clock.
Yeah, polls don't
Polls don't
close
close
till
till
7, so.
Is that your motion,
That-
Mike?
No, I'll be,
Well, I'd like
I'm
to
coming
try to
to
get a
Tennessee
consensus
talk.
first before.
I should be able to make it.
Bad.
You
I'll
think?
just, yeah, I'll just leave earlier.
Well, I mean, Pete said he can't be here.
Okay, well then, what about, Wednesday?
Wednesday, they have court in here at 4 o'clock.
Thursday?
Planning commission in here at 5:30.
Monday?
What about
We could
Monday?
do Monday, the 7th, or we could do Friday, the 11th.
And I'd rather do Tuesday, flying
Let's
here on
try
Tuesday.
Monday.
She can't do.
Nope.
I definitely cannot do Monday. I mean, if y'all are all available, I can call in until I am here. I physically will not be in this state, though, until probably right at 5, a little after 5. I mean,
How about,
if we do it Tuesday.
how about Monday, the 14th?
Let me check my schedule.
Oh, good God.
Oh, Monday's really bad for me. Can we try the 16th, or is that too late?
Oh, my God.
16th is good by me. What about 16th?
That's a Wednesday, the room's available.
Okay. Beautiful.
Did you check your schedule?
I did, it's clear.
Got cobwebs on it? All right.
All right, need a motion.
Motion?
I have a motion for the second, and a motion and a second to schedule a work session for the 16th, here at 5 o'clock. Okay, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, quote, let's see, quote, Civic Plus online code hosting. This is this through Munis, correct?
No, it's a company that was called Municode.
Municode?
It takes and codifies all of our ordinances into one place online.
All right, looking for a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
I have an aye. All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Fire Department.
Just real quick, tomorrow at Station 3 out on Johnson Road, we should have the rafters and all the interior wall stuff delivered. Should be on the job site tomorrow.
Good deal.
If you hadn't been by there, they poured the front slab on it. It's looking good.
Okay.
Looking real good.
Good deal. Good deal.
Griff, could I ask, did they total the truck?
I have not gotten a final answer on that yet. I'll look for them too.
All righty, sir. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Just to speak on the retirement, Richard Lenormand, started out here dispatching, worked his way up, decided he wanted to try to be a fireman and did, and ended up retiring as a lieutenant with the fire department, in good standing. So, hated to lose him, but, glad he made it to his retirement.
Please pass on our congratulations and our
Absolutely.
gratitude. I apologize for skipping over that at that point in time, so please extend that to him on our behalf. Excuse me. Is that all you have?
That's it.
Okay. Police Department, maintenance agreement for,
This is yearly,
Yes,
Chief?
it's
Yeah.
just a yearly renewal for our air conditioning.
I make a motion, we accept.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, appreciate it. Engineering, acceptance of the Enclave subdivision Phase 1 for maintenance.
One other
Go ahead,
thing,
sir.
too, that letter, and I maybe didn't maybe I should have written 2 letters. That's actually 2 subdivisions. They were both kind of built at the same time as part of the same set of plans. It's Enclave Phase 1 and Old Town Gardens North. Both of them are hitting at the same time. We're ready on our end to accept them for maintenance. And that's what the letter says. I just maybe I should have written 2 letters.
Okay, so clarify, we have the Enclave and Old Town Gardens.
Old Town Gardens North, that's right.
Okay,
That's my motion to accept.
all right.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Harbor Eastern Bulkhead Wall.
Motion,
Second.
discussion? Go ahead.
Okay? Yeah, I would suggest, I don't know what the contract conditions are and negotiations between the city and Andercorp, but I think y'all have selected them to be your
We did.
construction manager.
Selected them, we're waiting on their contract.
Yeah,
Okay, and so as soon as y'all would, it might be good to engage them in that process of deciding when we want to actually go on the street to begin the bid process for the harbor eastern bulkhead wall. There could be some difficulties trying to build what we've got going right now, the southeast wall, which doesn't look like there's a lot happening, but it's actually supposed to be this week. They should be doing work, and they have been today. But between that project and the harbor eastern bulkhead, we're not sure that you could build both of them at the same time, just in terms of the physical space. And so
What's the
having
timeframe?
Andercorp
Do
involved
we-
in that.
yeah. Do we have a new time frame because we got set back with the test pilings on the southeast?
Yeah, I mean, that's, we're 30 days into a 270-day contract, basically. I mean, we've used more calendar days than that, but they've been delayed while we've dealt with this test pile. They should be driving the test pile next week. That's the latest information from them today.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So.
I think we need to discuss this with Andicor because, I mean, and David, you know this as well as anybody, there's not a whole bunch of contractors out there that does bulkhead walls
Agreed.
in the water.
Yeah.
So if we do put this contract out and say that, what's the contractor's got it now?
The current contractor is J.E. Voorhees.
Just say they happen to get it, we're plus on that because they could set a test piling for the second phase and we could, if it works, then we could start getting,
Absolutely.
and I'm getting antsy, like everybody else in this town. so.
Understood,
but-
understood. And I
but-
think having Andercorp engaged with
That's
you
what I'm saying,
guys
yeah.
would be a big help and probably the next step to start setting the schedule for this.
Okay. So motion, we table it to get Andicor in, or?
Yeah, so,
This is just an FYI.
I think
Okay.
it's more of an,
Okay.
I can reach out and talk with Hunter and see what we can, set up and invite a couple of the aldermen. Okay? All right. David, you have anything else for us?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Public Works, Joe, has a track hoe replacement in front of us.
Sure. Just to remind the board, this is what you have in front of you, just a little bit to let the public know and y'all know. We lost our large track hoe on July 10th. It caught fire. The repair shop thinks it's 6 months to a year to get it repaired. We're working with the insurance companies and all that to get that done. In the budget, we were planning on, the backup to this one is, we can't repair the backup to this one. So in next year's budget, we were planning on replacing this Traco already. I just feel extremely likely that we're going to need this Traco in the next 6 months to a year. So I think it's probably best to go under emergency and say that we can take 2 quotes and take the first one is the one I would recommend. It's the cheapest one. And I think council is aware of this and he can speak to the half of why we think that this is an emergency.
Joe and I have discussed this and the circumstances under which the city very suddenly, unexpectedly ended without access to a track hoe at all. And, we hear city leaders all over all the time saying, hope for the best and prepare for the worst. It just seems somewhat irresponsible from Joe and I's discussion at this particular time of the season for the city to be without the necessary equipment should it be needed on very short notice. And I won't even speak the words, we all know what I'm talking about, but it seems as if this definitely is an emergency for the city to address this issue being without that piece of essential equipment.
Joe, just for everybody's knowledge, can you tell us what are the main, this is for our, not only ditches, but we're not using this to cut. This is
Under
more
sewer
of-
and water.
We have sewer and water,
Placing this under
pipe
sewer.
break and
Yes,
things
sir.
like that, so.
Large things. We also use it under emergency situations.
Perfect.
If we needed to clear a road or something like that, but it's mainly used for sewer and water, and it's purchased under sewer and water, and we have the budget, I believe.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept his recommendation of the case CX 145D with the blade for $199,469.
Are we gonna?
36
we're not
months
paying
at
it out.
zero.
Yeah.
That
okay.
comes out of the water and sewer.
Yes, sir.
That would be
months.
36 months at 0% financing.
I think that Kenny would rather pay 3 lump sums per year.
Okay.
We can work all that out,
Yeah.
but it's still going to be that price.
0% financing.
0% is
That's-
0%
The quote's
free money.
underneath it,
Yeah.
and we plan to sign it later this week and move forward with it.
Okay.
It's the pleasure of the board.
All right, I have a
A motion.
motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Recreation, Mr. Bob Paul.
Friday night, Town Green,
Thank you, sir.
hey, the all-nighters.
The all-nighters, all right.
Welcome.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Mike, Building Department.
Good.
All right. Harbor,
We're good.
you're good. All right, sir. We got our cameras working? We got the cameras and all working. Perfect. Good deal. Ms. Courtney with Community Affairs?
Yes, the Mayor's Youth Council applications are live and they are due August 17th. If y'all know of anyone, or if y'all can promote that to get some applications in. I'm also working on getting some quotes on the new banners for some poles. Possibly gonna get them sponsored so the city doesn't have to pay for them. But once I get like an image and a quote and everything, I'll let y'all know about that.
Remind me, for the Youth Council, juniors and seniors,
Yes,
correct?
juniors, seniors that live in Long Beach, so they can go to OLA or St. Pat's, or they can be homeschooled.
So as a reminder, we're bringing, Courtney has taken it upon herself to bring that back with the board's approval.
Yes,
And I think that's a good thing, getting the youth involved in government.
yeah,
So, and I commend you for that,
yeah.
so.
And then I got one last thing.
All right,
So a couple meetings ago, Bob had mentioned the Willway. I got with, and we got a quote for it, but if we got a contractor to do it, rough estimate would be $10,000. But if we got Public Works to do it, it would possibly be cheaper.
No, I'm sorry, Courtney, I must have misunderstood you. I believe that it was close to $100,000
$100,000, sorry.
that one
There's
zero.
too many zeros.
for that. And I believe material-wise, we're about 20 grand to get all the steel and stuff in it.
So is this something, and I'm asking on this streetscapes project that we have going on right now, that we could maybe incorporate into on the next phase? Or is that something we can ask?
I know we're asking for future phases, so when we make those applications, we could probably include that.
That, I mean, and because, yeah, and get with the, you know, if we can get something like that approved, we could get with the county and see, hey, can we put concrete, you know, the
They've already
walkway?
approved it.
Yeah.
I met with Mr. Ladner about a month ago, I
Yeah.
believe it was, and his only concern was that they were gonna be filling the sand back on the beach. And that was his only concern, that we make sure that we get with them to make sure that we're level and, you
Get
know.
it high enough to where when they filled it back in, it would be, yeah, but I mean, that's something to look at, especially if we can get the money out of this grant.
Steve. Steve,
Sorry.
hey, as a city, are we allowed to like do a GoFundMe account? Like, I've seen it for teachers and stuff like that, to put different projects that we have where people from all over can see. Is the city allowed, or can it fall under the, like economic development, which is a 501c3? To put projects out there so people can see what the city is doing, to see if there are any people that would like to donate to some of our things we have, instead of waiting another year or waiting all these long periods of time. Are we allowed to do something like that?
Certainly, citizens around the state just out of benevolence, are allowed to contribute, donate, or create endowments to the city for specialized or specific projects. I don't think the city, it is proper for the city to go out and solicit those types of contributions through a GoFundMe or some other. The city's authority with respect to revenue raising is through its normal taxation and levies otherwise. I don't know that it's,
But through like the community development, which is just a 501c3, we could do something through that.
well, the city does not have a separate foundation for that type of thing, but again, nothing prohibits any citizens within the city from making whatever donations or contributions and even earmarking those for a specific purpose. But I don't think the city can set up a citywide or even county, statewide solicitation of contributions like that.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
Any more?
That's it.
All right. All right. Moving on, derelict properties, have none. Mr. Attorney, you have any?
Three short things. I have had a meeting with the city attorney regarding how we're going to proceed with pursuing some of the derelict properties with we've been unable to make much progress as far as redirecting those. And I have some guidance from the court, and I'm going to meet with Mr. Gunlock on drafting a form and standard affidavit for violations of the city's ordinance to pursue those through the municipal court. And as I said, I've met with the city judge so that they certainly understand the need and necessity and why we are traveling that direction. Secondly, the city's lease with the Darwell tenant was paid in full and is current. And finally, the appeal on the FEMA award is substantially complete, will be complete and filed on time on or before this Friday.
Awesome. So it'll be filed by this Friday.
That's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Hearing no other business,
I'd like just one more announcement. I'd like to embarrass our police chief. Today is his 21st birthday here, so. You might.
Day to you. Happy birthday to you.
Might get you a cookie too.
I get a cookie.
Day, dear Billy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
For your birthday, I'll go ahead and I'll dismiss you early. How's that? So, I have a motion
And a second.
and a second. All in favor?
As long as they didn't share the picture from today.